Renaissance art in Northern Europe should not be considered an appendage to Italian art, but Italian influence was strong. Painted in oil, developed in Flanders, was widely adopted in Italy. The difference between the two cultures? Italy changes was inspired by humanism with its emphasis on the reveal of the values of classical antiquity. In Northern Europe, change was driven by religious reform, the return to Christian values, and the revolt against the authority of the churches. More princes and kings were patrons of artists. Flemish realism. Note the mirror in the center of the back. If you look very closely at the mirror, you'll see another painting within a painting. Look closely at this painting as well. Look at the money, the mirror, and the book. You'll see that religion plays a large part in art still, although it's not always the focal point. Look who the picture is of, the Virgin Mary and baby Jesus. This is for a pre-Renaissance picture that they are referencing. France. A new phase in Italian influence in France began with the French invasions of the Italian peninsula that began in 1494. The most important royal patron was Francis I. Actively encouraged humanist learning. He invited Da Vinci and Andrea Assorto to France. He collected paintings by the great Italian masters, like Raphael and Michelangelo. The school of Fontainebleau revealed around artists at Francis I's palace, a group of artists that decorated the royal palace between 1530s and 1560s. It was an offshoot of the school of art began in Italy and ended at the High Renaissance. It was characterized by a refined elegance with crowded figural compositions in which paintings and elaborate stucco work were closely integrated. The work incorporated allegory in accordance with the courtly liking of symbolism. Germany. England. What is that you see on the ground there? A skull. Notice in this particular picture that it's painted from multiple perspectives. Look at the books. However, the English were more interested in architecture than they were interested in painting. Look at the beautiful castles that they had built. One of the greatest artist genius of his age, he worked in Antwerp and moved to Brussels. In touch with a circle of humanists, he was deeply concerned with human vice and follies. A master of landscapes, but not a portraitist. People in his works often have round, blank, heavy faces. They are expressionless, mindless, and sometimes malicious. They are types rather than individuals. They're a purpose to convey a message. Spain. The most important Spanish artist in his period was Greek. He lived from 1541 to 1641. He deliberately distorts and elongates his figures and seats them in a lurid, unearthly atmosphere. He uses an antique flickering light. He ignores the rules of perspective and heightens the effect by areas of brilliant color. His works were fitting expressions for the Spanish Counter-Reformation.